So when I'd gotten home from the Virgin Islands, I was looking for a daily driver for myself, and I was torn between a few different cars. One of them being a W140 S420, because it's still the V8, it didn't have the electronic suspension or any of the horrible things that the higher trim levels had. I found one in South Florida, got it at an awesome deal, and planned to drive it back. On the way home, I found a Lincoln Navigator in Atlanta, just south of Atlanta actually. I just kind of felt a little more secure driving a newer 48,000 mile Navigator home instead of this S420, and W140s have always scared me. The seller was nice enough to let me leave it in his driveway, take the Lincoln home, and come back for it at a later date. So he calls me and he says he's going on a trip, that, if I can get the S420 out this weekend, it'd be great. So I rented a car, and I'm preparing a trip to just drive down, grab this S420, and drive it the rest of the way home. As I pick up the rental car, I get a phone call from a friend of mine who works at Haggerty, who was kind of like my representative for the cars and whatnot. And he tells me, have you seen this post? There's a crazy ABC exclusive widebody S-Class for sale in Missouri. It looks like exactly like the type of ABCs you have, and it's right on the Missouri-Nebraska border. You have to go get this thing right now. And it was listed for $1,750. And it was also listed in the Canton, Missouri buy-sell mom's garage group. It wasn't even in the right place. I messaged this guy, and by the time 6 minutes had passed, this post was in every wide-body Mercedes group, every Koenig Specialist group, every tuner Mercedes group you could think of, and people were clawing at him to get it. I didn't even read the ad. I found this guy, found his business. I called him up, and I was like, listen, I want the car right now. Can I Zell you? And he says, well, yeah, sure. If you're willing to Zell right now, no problem. Nobody else has offered that yet. It had only been up for 8 minutes. I was like, yeah, I'll Zell you right now. Just, can we do a bill of sale so I'm protected? Yeah, no problem. Send him the bill of sale, signs it electronically, sends it back to me. I Zell him the money. Now I'm like, well, I really need to go get this car. It has a ton of rare parts. I don't want it sitting somewhere where someone can get it. And the guy's moving out of his mechanic shop, and it had been in the back of it now for 14 plus years. And he needed to move it out that weekend. He calls me maybe an hour and a half after leaving the deposit. And he's like, well, Tim, I just want to make sure that, I did the right thing. I was like, you did the right thing. I'm on the way. And so he's like, all right. You sound like a good guy. No problem. I'm booking it now because I know he's having second thoughts. And I know somebody, still don't know who it is. I have a good idea. Somebody had actually reached out to him from California and said, don't sell that car to Tim. He's got 4 of them. They were trying to get it for themselves. So I knew that people were trying to get this car, and I really had to get there. I'm driving through the night at this point. I make it to Maryland, and I get another phone call at midnight from this guy. And he's like, I just really want to make sure I did the right thing. I was like, buddy, I'm already on the way to you. Stop. I've paid for the car. You're not going to make this that stressful. Please stop trying to cancel on me. I'm on the way. He's like, all right, fine. I'm really panicked, and I make it straight to the S-Class, and I still have to drive. They wouldn't let me extend this rental because it was a one-way and already had a preset destination or whatever. They wouldn't let me take it all the way out to where this car was. I still had to drive this S420 from Atlanta all the way to basically Nebraska without doing a single thing to it. I'm nervous as hell, and I get to the S420. Guy's awesome. Stored the car for me. Didn't mess with it. Still friends with him to this day. The guy who sold me the Navigator. I get in it. I give back the rental, and I just start booking it to Missouri. About 2 more times on the way, he calls me and he's, I don't know if I should go through with this. I was like, you signed a bill of sale. I didn't even pressure you to. I paid your full asking price. I was like, look, if it makes you stop harassing me about this, what do you want? How much extra do you want? And the guy's like, would you give me $1,000 extra? I was like, by principle, that sucks, but sure, if I have to, no problem, because he gave me the car at a good deal. I was like, yeah, no problem. So now I'm booking it. Drove straight through. It was something with gas stops and everything. It took me something 28 hours straight of driving this S-Class. Thank God it didn't break. So I get there, and mind you, I had some time to reread the ad, and the guy was telling me on the phone. He's like, it runs, drives, may not stop, but it runs and drives. It should. It has a brand new tire on it. It's like, okay, so maybe this car can drive. Maybe I can drive it to a storage unit or drive it away because I just want to get it out. So when I pull up, I see this thing sitting there, and it is rough. It looks like it spent some time at the Titanic. Everything is rusted. So I was like, all right, you said it runs, right? He's like, it should. I was like, so it doesn't? Like, is battery, jump pack, nothing? No, it doesn't even have a battery in it. Okay, so it doesn't run. Steering wheel's not even connected. I was like, how did you say this runs and drives, right? So I'm looking around because now I gotta transport it. And I thought, being that I had one new tire, that the rest of the tires were usable. Like, he put that on because it wasn't holding air. The fronts had completely deflated tires and had torn apart from 1980. The back left was a used, like, horrible one that wasn't holding air, wrong size. And the back right was brand new. Like, he literally put one brand new tire on and used it as a selling point. I was like, great, so I can't even transport this thing now. I'm looking over this thing like, this doesn't run and drive at all, like, what is this? He goes, well, if you don't want it, you don't have to take it. I was like, stop it. I'm in Nebraska right now at this point. Like, I'm taking it. So he counts the money out, and then he gives me back the remainder. He's like, you were a good sport. He's like, I don't need to charge you extra. I was like, so you just trying to give me a heart attack for no reason? So the guy then tells me, I don't have a title for it. I applied for it. It'll be here soon, though. Obviously, the value in that car is all the parts. So I was like, well, you didn't tell me that, but that's fine. Like, I'll trust that you'll mail it to me. So we get it brought over to the storage yard. All is well. And on the way to the storage yard, I get an Instagram DM from somebody in Missouri who said, I see what you're doing. I like what you're doing with the Mercedes and whatnot. Outside of this mechanic shop that my parents bring their truck to, there's this weird looking Mercedes. And he sends me a photo of a W124 ABC exclusive widebody. I had purchased a pair of ABC exclusives out of a barn in Columbus, Ohio, an S-Class and a W124. And the 124 ended up somehow being a much, much rarer car than the S-Class Coupe. And a lot of people had wanted it at a very, very good number. At the same time, while I was still waiting for a title for that one, and I went through the whole lien process on it, I got offered this other 124 right after I bought the 126. I was like, what are the odds in the same state, in the same road trip, two white four-door ABC exclusive wide bodies, both abandoned in the mud? Now, this second one was literally abandoned in the mud. I mean, like, you'd lose your shoes walking to it, and it was outside of a mechanic shop that had burned down but was still operating, so they didn't have a roof, and like all the important tools were like pushed to the area that didn't burn. And so this car was sitting there, and he ended up being literally one of the nicest mechanics I've ever met. Changed the oil on my car for free while I was there, like, super nice guy. I go and I pick this W124 up. Again, no title. She knows I was the husband's car. We have to find where the title is. As long as you promise you'll get me a title, I'll take it right now. I paid her for it, and we ended up not transporting that one home because the guy was willing to store it for me for a long time, and like, he really was like an old school do right by you guy. And I've checked up on the car periodically. It's just not worth bringing home. So now that I've gotten a title for the other 124, my plan is to possibly bring them all home once they all have titles, do a crazy drive through New York City with these completely abandoned, wrecked ABC exclusive wide bodies with the two 124s flanking the 126, and just sell them all as a group. Been in talks with, the Patina Collective on them and a couple other big Benz collectors. And now that I've kind of gotten the title for all of them, I'll be moving forward with it. But before I do, I want to scan the body kits and whatnot and get the proportions and, have a 3D scan of these cars, because one of them doesn't have the right front bumper. I'll make sure it has the right front bumper by the time it sells, with a reproduction that matches what the original should have been. So that's my plan with all three of them. And that S420 made it home that entire trip somehow flawlessly. I kind of decided I would give the S420 a break and daily the Lincoln Navigator for a little bit. The Lincoln did what 5.4s do, and it completely just blew up on me at like 90,000 miles. And so I didn't have a car the week that I was supposed to drive down to Florida. I looked at this S420, I was like, it should make it. Nobody could find the key for it. If you lose a key to an old Mercedes, God help you. I've lost two of them. One of them, thank God, the guy could make with 2 days worth of work and $500. And the other one, I'm still not whole on. It's like $1,800 so far. We've replaced the steering column, and I just can't get it to start. So don't lose an old Mercedes key. But I had a guy come by, and he made a key for the S420. I put it in, started it up, immediately drove it to Tampa. First, I actually drove it all around and delivered Christmas meals to the homeless we were doing. So I drove it like all around the island, and it made that trip. So I was like, all right, it's ready for Tampa, same day. So I drove it straight down to Tampa, visited with my mom or whatever. And as I was getting ready to leave Christmas, she was like, oh, can I come with you on your next trip. And I was like, Mom, an S420, like the next trip, as I found out, was literally to Iowa. I was like, do you really want to come with me in a sketchy S420 all the way to Iowa? She's like, yeah, absolutely, sure. So I put my mom in the W140 and we drove to Iowa. When I got there, it was an office building, full, like literally an office building full of crazy muscle cars. Ford Galaxy Starliners, like big blocks in the conference room. And it was all like in cubicles. There was like a Chevy Nova, like instead of people. This guy had a whole office building filled with cool classics. You know, I ended up making a package deal with a whole bunch of other cars from the same broker. You know, my mom ended up driving back to Florida in a rental car, and I still had to drive it home. So I stopped at Auto Parts City in Chicago, which is a famous junkyard on TikTok and whatnot, and I bought a couple cars off them. Jeremy's my guy out there. He always hooks me up with cool stuff. So I was like, it's worth a trip to go up to Chicago. And it immediately starts. From Iowa to Chicago was a terrible snowstorm. I mean, this car had gone from 84 degrees in Tampa to 2 degrees in Iowa in the span of a couple of days. It had gotten so cold, I've never seen this before, that the transmission seals shrunk enough to actually dump out all of the transmission fluid until you drove it and it got hot again. I'm driving it home in a full-on snowstorm. I think Chicago got something like 13 inches, and trying to go off the rest area because it's just too bad at this point. Like, this car has no traction, sliding all over, and the thing just starts immediately doing 360s in the snow on a packed highway. And people are like almost hitting me. I recover it, I pull off into the rest area. I drove 35 miles an hour home from Chicago to New York the entire way. It took something like a day and a half of straight drive from Chicago. I was losing my mind. That whole trip between taking it from New York to Tampa to Iowa to Chicago to Martha's Vineyard to home, and driving all around in between there at those destinations. I put 13,000 miles on a W140 in 27 days. And so I had really only driven that car like 5 times at that point, but I put on like 35,000 miles in total. That S420 ended up being one of the cooler dailies that I've had, and I still have it to this day. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it because it's just always somehow the only 140 I've ever seen that's just ready to drive across the country without a single hiccup.
This month of VINwiki content is brought to you by Premier Financial Services, and they are the perfect partner in your journey to own your dream car because their Simple Lease is the most powerful tool in the world of exotic car financing. You'll get all the benefits of a leasing structure like lower payments and better tax treatment, along with everything we love about a normal exotic car loan where you can trade in and out at any time, always know where you stand thanks to their amortization table, and accumulate equity for whenever you're finished and ready for the next car. And Premier is great because they're wholly owned and backed by First Financial Bank, which means they have more buying power than any other exotic car bank or collector car bank in the United States, and their customer service is unmatched. Also, rates are lower than they have been in a very, very long time, so it's never been a better time to reach out to Premier, talk to their representatives, learn what you can pre-qualify for, and let them help you own the car of your dreams with Premier Financial Services.